y'all know that. Just go out there and have fun with it.
When I say who we, you say Texans. Who are we? Texans. Who are we? Texans.
Watson hands off to Hyde, running to the left. Carlos has the 5. Carlos to the pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Houston.
I gotta get this to my mom.
I want you to give it to your mom.
Looks like our team have been all year. Just get started. Let's go. Finish this thing.
Tannehill in the pocket. There's a big rush and a sack. The game is over.
Huge win for the Texans yesterday, one that put them in position to clinch the AFC South with a win this Saturday against the Bucs, a game that you will see right here on NFL Network. Gave them a 1-game lead over the Titans, who have been so good down the stretch. 6 wins in 8 games, and it so easily could have been 7, a 3-point game in which they actually had more yards. That Justin Reed, Whitney merciless takeaway in the second, massive for Houston, a 14-point swing in their direction. What else did the Texans do well here?
Well, Liz, it's easy to be enamored by the ability of Deshaun Watson, all the dynamic plays that he makes. But quite simply, the run game helps balance out this offense. And when you look at the addition of Carlos Hyde, it's been tremendous for the Houston Texans. I want to show you a breakdown here of what he does on this play. Look at the lateral movement, the quickness of Carlos Hyde to get outside on this run. Now, when you look at it a little bit deeper, you know this is a play that Houston does a lot. They actually send that tight end in motion, but he continues on to the flat. And then Deshaun fakes that ball a lot of times and go out on the perimeter. But you see all the Tennessee guys bunched up in the middle because they're expecting them to either run the ball or that one play coming. And Carlos Hyde, he's been great. Ever since Lamar Miller went down at the beginning of the year, a lot of people wonder if Carlos Hyde was the guy. And then they traded for Duke Johnson. So he's been as advertised. He's had his best season as a pro. And congratulations to him because he's really been the key in that offense.
How about Derrick Henry? You told us last Monday that you thought that his hamstring looked hurt. 21 attempts yesterday for 86 yards and no touchdowns. Did you think you were right?
Absolutely. I mean, we know Derrick Henry, and I applaud him for getting out there and trying to toughen through that injury, but you can clearly see that he just had no explosive ability. He just couldn't be himself, and if he's not himself, then that team is going to struggle because he creates a lot of big plays through the run game for them.
Big loss for the Titans. It gives them very little room for error moving forward, though they do have 2 paths to the playoffs. They've got the wild card route where they are fighting with the Steelers for that final spot, and they have also got the divisional route that will only be open to them if the Texans lose to the Buccaneers on Saturday. If they win that game, they win the AFC South. So Tennessee fans will be locked into this one, the first of 3 games on NFL Network that day. And the second one could have big divisional implications elsewhere in the AFC, Scott.
It will indeed. That involves the Buffalo Bills. They had another road win late last night. Sunday Night Football beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Josh Allen ran for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown. Bills' defense was terrific as well. They forced Pittsburgh into 5 turnovers. 17-10 was the final score in Pittsburgh. Bills are now 10-4. They clinch a playoff spot with this victory. That means they're going to be in the tournament for the second time in 3 seasons. And you think Western New York ain't fired up about that? Well, get this. The Bills team plane landed a little after 2 a.m. It's like 20 degrees in Buffalo, and look at all the Bills Mafia showing up behind a chain-link fence to take selfies. Listen to the reception Josh Allen got. That's one of the absolute best fan bases in the NFL. We go inside the Game Center presented by Bridgestone right now. For the game itself against Pittsburgh, David, it wasn't the cleanest offensive performance, but it was effective to get them to double-digit wins.
It hasn't. It's been effective all year. But like you said, Scott, that's the only thing that really bothers me. When you look at it, they got a double-digit win team. They're playing great football. Defense has been great. They're able to run on the perimeter basically versus any look. I mean, Pittsburgh's no slouch to go run the football against. They're able to do that. The only thing that concerns me, and I'll kind of show you, they take shots down the field, but they're a little inconsistent. Like, this is a great throw. I mean, both of these throws that I'm going to show you are incredible throws with amazing velocity from Josh Allen. play action pass from the pocket, literally a guy in his face. He sees the one-on-one coverage, and there's not even really any arc on this throw. I mean, that's a long throw, and it's almost a back shoulder 30-yard throw down the field to John Brown. Great accuracy. Here's another one. They're going to go play action pass because they run the football so well, and this is just a little bit off. Right? You have a dig route coming on the inside. You want to get that ball out of your hand now. He still has it in his hand. That's the problem. So it's a tick late. It's little things, but it's contested because that backside corner is able to come over and make a play. So there's things timing-wise that they need to clean up. The problem is Josh has never really had to do that.
Yeah.
Ever since he's been little, he's had the strongest arm on the field. And every time he's just gone back. Even when we were at the combine, we were watching him throw the football. Quarterbacks are taking their 5-step drop hitch, throw 45 yards down the field. Josh took a 5-step drop, took 3 or 4 hitches, threw the ball 85 yards down the field. We're like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But then it equates to maybe a little bit of misses down the field in situations like this. So if he can find a way to get the ball out of his hand a little bit earlier, anticipate better, they're going to be even better as an offense. So I think that's just the thing that we got to kind of watch for as a Buffalo Bills fan.
Well, up next, maybe the biggest game of his young professional life at New England. Willie's going to break down the Pats a little bit later here on NFL Total Access. Coming up next on the show, the AFC can claim the reigning Super Bowl champs, the reigning MVP, and the current leader for the MVP race this year. But after the break, Steve Smith Sr. says the NFC is going to flip the script